Hey everybody, it's RJ Sid, ChicagoCashFlowProperties.com, Chicago's #1 source for wholesale deals and real estate investing information. I want to talk about my 5 tips on how to invest in Chicago or Chicagoland area. More specifically, Chicago, and how to just get started in investing here. So there's plenty of wholesalers or investors that are either new or coming into Chicago because they're excited. It's very interesting to see what's going on with the REOs and the profits other investors are making. There's a lot of things that investors from other areas or new investors oversee and overlook, and I kind of want to clarify a few things and give you some helpful tips. So bear with me. My first tip is I would suggest you use one of the best realtors in that area, or find a wholesaler in that area. So let's find first a good real estate agent. You want to go to a website like blockshopper.com. That's blockshopper.com, and plug in your neighborhood. Chicago's got a little section there, and then it's divided into every neighborhood in the city and surrounding areas. You want to click on the area that you want to be in, and it'll give you the top 10 real estate agents there. So, Google them or click on them, see how many they're listing, how many they're selling, and give them a call. If you Google them and you find a cell phone number, some of them have them, just call them, spark a conversation, say you're an investor, cash buyer, looking to get in, see they've got a lot of business. What can they tell you about that specific area? And the area could be the name of the neighborhood, the zip code, or that area in the city, blah, blah, blah. They'll know what you're looking for, and they'll help you, guide you. My second tip is to find that wholesaler and drive the area. How do you find the wholesaler? Well, typically you're going to see We Buy Houses signs if it's prone for investors. Call the We Buy Houses signs, start getting a list of wholesalers in the area. Disclaimer, a lot of those signs have nobody on the other end. Too many people come and go as wholesalers in not just Chicago, overall. So you're going to have to call a few to get some answers, and usually they'll be pretty cool about it, and they'll be able to let you know what's going on. While you're driving, also call the for sale signs. If it's a board up and there's a sign out, call it because it's an REO. Get the information on a property, call a few of them, and start getting ideas of prices. If you're looking at a property that's not an REO, call the agent, see what's it listed at, and start getting it. The agent you called on tip number 1 will be the one that'll send you, current REO listings, current properties, and you'll start building kind of an image of what's going on in the area. I would suggest then, my tip number 3 is to then start looking at the comps, the comparables. We use this criteria in Chicago. It's the same as any metropolitan area. Unlike suburbs, this is what we do. You got to go within half a mile. In Chicago, I'd say even a few blocks is fine. 3, 4, 5 blocks maybe. Half a mile, maybe. But definitely start there. Go back at least 3 months. You want similar exterior, brick with brick, frame with frame, stucco, blah, blah, blah. And style of house. If you want, you can look up Chicago styles. Another video I have, basically, they want to be similar and square footage. You want 20% range, either above or below similar property with same exterior and bed count. For example, properties 1,000 square feet with 3 bedrooms. You'll look at properties that have sold between 800 and 1,200 square feet with 3 bedrooms, same exterior. Okay, so that's where you start looking at, that's your criteria. Now, additional to that, you want to start seeing what are properties selling for on the retail end. Because we know REOs, bankable properties, are going to be significantly cheaper than what's selling at the retail end. So if you're a wholesaler or new to flipping or starting to get into flipping in Chicago, look out for these things. If you're getting REOs from your agent and they're listed at $60,000 and $70,000, you want to look for properties using our criteria within half a mile that have sold on the retail end for at least $95,000 above that. So if you're getting properties at 60, the range you want to be is 150, 155 and above, because that gives you cushion for your repairs, you know, the amount of work you need to do, closing costs, carrying costs, realtor fees, and then profit. So that gives you enough where you should have some left over to take something home or leave plenty of profit for your investor. So that's very, very important. You know how to measure the comps. And you need more than just one. You can't have a property at like 50 grand. There's one comp at 145, and the rest is like 100, 105, 115. You need areas where people want to live in and are paying a higher price to do so. It could be the school, it could be the neighborhood. There's a lot of things, but those are what you want to look for. So watch out for that. Tip number 4, you know, going from tip number 3, you'll see the connection. Watch out for natural dividers or unnatural dividers. What I mean is, Chicago's made up of pockets and silly little pockets, and one block's better than another block, and we all know those kind of things. But investors are not so aware, and wholesalers definitely, especially new ones, have no idea about dividers. So if your comps, or you're getting good comps, watch if those comps are on another side of train tracks, bridges, or a main intersection. Those are usually the ones to look out for, and for obvious reasons. So if you're getting an REO, it's listed at 60, and then all of a sudden it drops down to 30, and you find out that the comps that they use to list it at 60 are like on the other side of a train track, a railroad, or whatever, you might be in the lesser part of that pocket. It may still be, everything else might equal out, but watch out for those dividers. I mean, I've learned the hard way. You don't want a property on the other side of a main intersection, because there, all of a sudden, it's connected to another zone that might not be so good, and people don't want to be there. Watch out for that. And tip number 5, which is an obvious tip, make sure if you're going to be looking to work with a fix and flipper, or you're going to flip yourself, if you're a wholesaler, brick, no frame. The only time I suggest you look at frames is if you're looking to buy, fix, and rent, or buy, fix, and lease option or something. Because there's an abundance of brick properties where you don't have to look at frames, because the after repaired value on a single family house between a brick and a frame, the difference is a minimum of $30,000 to $40,000 in Chicago. So if you're looking, you know, bed, bath count, same amount of work, you know, the property is ridiculously dope in a great area. A brick REO listed at $50,000. Similar property if it's framed, listed at $25,000. Don't even make an offer above it. Just how things are. So in any event, those are my 5 tips of how to get down here in Chicago, or the Chicago area. There's a little more flexibility in the suburbs with the brick and the frame thing, but and the criteria is a little bit wider. But in any event, for all things Chicago real estate investing, I'm your guy, RJ Sid. Feel free, subscribe to our newsletter or to our YouTube channel. Comment down below. Let me know what you're looking at, what I missed, or any other good tips, and I'll make a video and plug your site, and let's get this show on the road.